Periods. Paul McCartney talks to our London correspondent, Mark Llewellyn.
Paul McCartney is coming back. Back to the country he last saw 17 years ago.
Be nice to get back down under.
You're practicing your Aussie?
Yeah, I'm getting all the little things of fair dinkum. G'day, sport.
Well, we'd like to carry on now with a song which we recorded not very long ago. The song is called All My Loving.
28 years ago, the Beatles came to Australia for their one and only visit.
And we were expecting this beautiful Australian weather, and it was bucketing down. The Beatles tour was in the days when Aussies used to have this reputation as, you know, corks round their head and beer swilling, mate, you know, right, mate, a bit thick in the head, you know.
Yeah. Paul, what do you expect to find here in Australia?
Australians?
Well, if they are in that rear car, it would be madness to come out. It was 1964, the height of Beatlemania.
It was when people were sort of screaming and going mad, and somebody climbed up the Southern Cross Hotel, just sitting in your room with a, "G'day, mate. You're not supposed to be here, are you? Don't worry, mate, no worries." But it was good. We had a great time.
11 years later, this time with Wings, Paul McCartney returned. Do you remember a bloke called Norman Gunston?
Yeah. Who could forget dear old Norman?
When you did that LP, Abbey Road, was there any truth in the rumour that you were dead?
Well, I thought, oh my God, you know, he's this definite weirdo, this bloke.
Did you ever have Beatlemania, Mrs. McCartney?
Constantly.
Oh, which one of them was your favourite? You know, before you were related or anything, you know.
Mick Jagger.
Was it? Mick Jagger was. There you are. I think she got him on the rebound. The marriage is okay, bud, isn't it? The marriage is okay.
Well, it's all right, but you're not helping them.
It's funny, you know, you don't look Japanese.
And it was a little bit unsettling. But then someone said it's a put-up, you know. And once you know that, it was all right, you play along with it. But at first, it's like, good God, they've got some funny interviewers down here.
Oh! I can't go. Thanks for the lovely send-off.
This time round, Paul McCartney flies in with a new band, a new album, and a willingness to do some old, much-loved numbers once banished from the playlist.
Slightly different thing between now and 75 is that we've got over the embarrassment of doing Beatle numbers. I started to think, well, it'd be a pity if I never sing those songs ever again, because some of them are nice songs, you know, and they work well with audiences. So we decided to give it a go, and we had a lot of fun.
Paul McCartney returns after the break, talking about life at 50 and his friend John Lennon.
Let me take you down, 'cause I'm going to Strawberry.
In a business where youth is king, Paul McCartney admits he's positively ancient. But even as he enters his 51st year, McCartney says he just can't wait to get back to doing what he loves best, singing live in a rock and roll band. In the second part of our exclusive interview, Paul McCartney remembers his career with the Beatles, where he shared the spotlight with John Lennon.
You turned 50 this year.
Did I? My God, I don't believe it.
Big day or a bad day?
It was all right, actually. I decided to just have another birthday as usual and sort of keep my head down.
No thought of settling down with a pipe and comfy slippers?
Oh, not really. Nah.
Watch Paul McCartney on stage, watch him soak up the applause, and it's easy to realise why he still does it. It's the ultimate charge.
Yeah, it is. It's, you know, you should try it. Next time we do it, I'll let you walk out. And we'll pretend you're me. And they might not cheer, though. This is the problem. You might not
but
get...
I'll take you up.
No. But no, it's very special. You can't deny it, you know.
Do you get nervous?
For me, it's probably just simple things like, will I remember the words? You know, and people think this is ridiculous. Well, the fans in the audience know the words of some of the older songs. Sometimes I have to watch the fans' mouths. Oh, that's how it goes, yeah. But I make the excuse, you know, I mean, I'm not too precious on stage. I say, look, I'm sorry, I forgot the words. But I've written a lot, you know. This is only one of them.
McCartney and his band have already been put through a thorough workout during their 1990 World Tour, a tour that included playing in Rio before the biggest rock crowd in history.
The crowd were insane, and we got this world record, 184,000 people. Beat Frank Sinatra. Sorry, Frankie.
But that tour for McCartney was about more than breaking records.
So the idea is, if you get a chance to vote, you just tell your politicians you want to live in a clean world.
It was a chance to show his concern about a problem Aussies are only too well aware of.
Yeah, I love going in the sun, you know, and I never used to bother about sunblocks, you know, the typical British tan, you know, the lobster, the hanky on the head, you know, wherever you go, you just, oh, God, it hurts, but you have a few drinks and you're all right. But you don't do that anymore, you know.
Getting back on the road also meant getting back to his rock and roll roots. Much of it Beatles, some of it Lennon.
Let me take you down, 'cause I'm going to Strawberry.
When I started doing these songs of John's, it was quite strange. It was like a sort of ghostly feeling. It was as if you were John. It was as if you were playing his character. But I enjoyed it, you know, because I liked him so much. It was a good feeling.
A tribute.
A tribute.
It was in Liverpool, birthplace of the Beatles, that Paul McCartney played his tribute to his mate John Lennon. Even he was surprised by how the audience responded.
And it just went down so great. We got down to Give Peace a Chance, which we were going to finish with. And I went, da-da, give peace a chance, trying to finish it. And I stopped, and we were sort of going to... But the crowd just, oh, we are saying... And they wouldn't stop, you know.
It's been a long time between drinks, but finally Paul McCartney is Australia-bound again, playing his hits, catching up with his fans, and intending to have a damn good time.
When people are booing me off stage, I'll probably retire gracefully. That hasn't happened yet.
Amazing 50-year-old Paul McCartney talking there to Mark Llewellyn. After the break, a new obstacle for a life-saving drug. Earlier this year, we unveiled a revolutionary cancer-fighting drug called Nupagen. Although available in 17 other countries, it was banned by the Australian government. Thanks to cancer victim Jana Nicholson, who fought for the drug's approval right up to her death, the Drug Evaluation Committee eventually gave Nupagen the green light. But controversy continues to plague the treatment. Another government committee is refusing to subsidise Nupagen, and cancer victims are being forced to pay $3,000 for a 10-day course. Chris Smith reports.
Well, I think it's crazy. I mean, here is a life-saving drug sitting on the shelf, waiting to help save people's lives.
Michael Nicholson has come to Canberra to take on the bureaucracy. You've got one tomato that's starting to go right there.
It was Michael's late wife, chronic cancer sufferer Jana Nicholson, who earlier this year fired the first salvos in this bureaucratic brawl.
Put yourself in my shoes. If you were in my position or your wife was in my position, you might feel a little bit differently about it. You might see it as being a bit more of an urgent situation.
Jana was adamant that after receiving limited doses of Nupagen during a trial, her white blood cell count increased remarkably, a prerequisite for access to vital chemotherapy.
I know that when she did go on to Nupagen as part of the trialling, I know that the hope that it gave us, it was the only hope we had left. It was the only way that she was going to be able to continue on chemo. And that means a lot to a family. And I just think that sort of hope should be shared.
He occurred smoothly toward them.
Jana's story and some fiery parliamentary debate pressured Australian drug evaluators into approving Nupagen for general use here. It was a posthumous victory for this brave woman, and now 27 other countries are using the drug. But round 2 in the battle for Nupagen has just begun.
It could be saving some lives, one would have to agree to that, but then many drugs can be doing that.
And that's where Des Threlfall, the man with the red tape, comes in. He's secretary of the Pharmaceutical Benefits Advisory Committee, a group which has twice now refused to fund the drug. In other words, cancer victims like Michael Waterhouse are forced to spend almost $3,000 for a 10-day dose of Nupagen.
Yeah, it's almost as if cancer patients had a limited life prospect anyway. So here's something that's going to make it a bit more limited. Well, what the hell, you know?
I've just been wondering why you think it's a little bit too early to approve the funding of Nupagen when there's a lot of people out there dying from cancer whose lives could be saved if it was made available now.
Well, we're just looking for more data to reinforce that fact.
What sort of data?
Data to show that it is cost effective and that it is saving lives.
You're not convinced that this drug saves lives, are you? You're not convinced, are you?
Not on its own right, no.
Now here's the PBAC contradicting what senior oncologists and 27 other World Health Authorities have been saying for months, that Nupagen will save lives.
Have you sought to get data from other places?
We have no way of doing that.
Why can't you simply pick up the telephone and ask?
Well, one, I don't have the contact, so I just don't know.
Or is that the bureaucratic way?
Well, the situation in overseas countries may be totally different to here.
But you don't know because you haven't made advances to those people.
And whether it would be relevant, we'd have no way of knowing.
Chris Smith reporting, and that committee has asked for yet more data, shifting the onus onto state hospitals who now have to come up with the money for more research. Next up, a final word. Well, Friday has always been a special night for me because that's when I line up for my weekly dose of humour from two of Australia's most talented satirists, John Clark and Brian Dorr. So now let's join the men who can make grown politicians weep with their only slightly skewed perspective on life.
Thank you very much. Now, what we're going to show you is obviously a collection of things which have gone to air over the last few years. I have to say this is a complete subterfuge, and what you're about to see has got precisely nothing whatever to do with Brian and myself. We're going to show you an open-hearted tribute to Jana,
who's been one of the great figures in current affairs broadcasting in this country, and it's been great to be associated with her.
It has indeed. She's been a particular pal of ours, and we're going to miss her a great deal.
She's going to hate this job.
She's not going to like this at all. I bet you she doesn't know this is going to happen, and furthermore, I'll bet you any money you like, if she did know, she'd be totally opposed to it. She's not the sort of person who'd like a tribute to go.
I wouldn't have thought so. It's the producer's idea anyway.
It's the what?
Producer's idea.
Producer's idea?
Yeah.
I thought that's what you said.
Yeah, well, I know his name. We can fix him after if you like.
He can't be the bloke I was talking to if he had an idea.
Well, I was
Producer?
Yeah, I was talking to...
That bloke? I was talking to this guy. I thought he was in charge.
Oh, no.
Who told you that guy was in charge?
This guy.
Really? This?
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Oh,
right.
no.
Yeah, well, she'll still be on television anyway.
Still be on television?
Yeah.
No, she's going off television. She's
Yeah,
not
I
going to
know
be on
that.
television.
No, but she's still going to be on...
The entire point of this is that she's going off television.
Yes, I
One of the
realise.
most famous departures in the history of the medium.
Yes, yeah, I know that, but she's going to come back and do specials, right?
Oh, she's going to be on television?
Yeah.
Even though she's going off television?
Which is a hard act to follow.
They said it couldn't be done. Maybe she just wants a break.
I think she needs a break, don't you, after all these people?
I'd want a break if I'd been talking to these clowns, these very valuable public citizens over the last 5 years. Have a look at this. It'll drain the blood completely from the face.
Jana, you know very well that you've got your foot on the sticky paper. You're trying to make the most of it, to make your sort of reputation and name and get people to look at it. But then I wouldn't expect anything else from you, Jana, by your record, as I've seen it recently.
Well, what do you mean by that?
Well, you work it out for yourself.
On the TV.
I think it's time for holiday.
Reminded me of you. The expectation left to come up to you. Lady, wait, I'm on the TV.
Well, I do. I mean, I'm trying to use
games.
Well, I'm not. No, I'm not. You're playing the games. I'm not playing with people's lives. You're playing games with words, if you don't mind me saying so.
Mrs. Hancock, you've been called many...
You can press me further, Jana. I'm sorry.
The Queensland Police Force is not corrupt.
Never took a cent?
Not a cent.
Where you personally intervened and paid out $400,000 to Sir Joe Bjelke-Petersen. Were you trying to exert influence there?
It was $1 million they were asking. We got it down to 400,000.
Are you confident in your capacity to retain the leadership?
I'm about to go out and have a very nice dinner and a good red.
Yeah, I know how he feels. I've been there, done that.
Excuse me, sir. Excuse me.
Right.
Just to a place to go.
Good evening, Mr. Casey.
If you are going to take me out of context, what's the point of me sitting here trying to have a rational debate?
Mr. Casey, did you say those words?
You're victimising me.
Why don't you read it out so the public can hear
Let's establish what point we're making, Mr. Packer. You call it the big lie.
Mr. Finch, do you stand by your confession?
I do.
You have confessed to firebombing the Whiskey A Go-Go nightclub 15 years ago, right or wrong?
Well, I can't remember saying this. Just a moment. One more. I don't know what's happened to me. I haven't been very well.
Were you or were you not involved in the Whiskey A Go-Go firebombing?
No.
It's outrage. It's the massacre in Beijing. We meet here to show our support.
Wouldn't it also be logical to conclude that your own display of emotion on this was just, in fact, a display, if this is your attitude now?
That is a despicable and contemptible observation, and I find your observation repugnant in the extreme.
You're a little devil, you are.
And I'm sorry if you're upset about the questions, but it seems to me that I'm not doing my job if I have an opportunity to speak to Sir Brown.
You have gone out of your way to ask the questions I told you not to ask.
You get stresses and strains in these relationships.
If I went under a bus, then I'm gone, and I think Paul Keating would make an admirable Prime Minister.
When are you going to be Prime Minister?
When Bob's good and ready to call it quits.
They say that you get by on good looks and good connections.
The fact that I have to even answer these questions is not terribly enjoyable, but I'm a public servant.
Lady, wait, I'm on the TV.
You'll be interviewing me and Dan Quayle for the rest of your life. I can see it hitting you right now. I can see it. And then it's hitting you again and again. This is interviewer hell.
You really are a sex symbol, aren't you?
I'd rather be crutching sheep, quite frankly, Jana.
Thank you, Mel. That's the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me.
You do have the most beautiful eyes.
Listen, if you ever decide to get into any interspecies dating, I'm here. And you're very attractive for a human being.
I'd love to meet you someday.
Have you got time? Because I would like to introduce my husband to you.
Oh, I don't think I could say no to that, Nicole.
A great guy. Here he is.
This is a rare treat. How are you enjoying married life?
Fantastic.
References to your eyes, your stomach muscles, your legs, your clothes, your moods. How much is left?
That's who I am, Jeff Kennett.
So I realised
Not interested in what's intelligent, buddy boy. I'm going to be Jeff Kennett.
Oh, dear me. Oh, I'll have to recover from this.
Alan Bond. Alan Bond.
I've never heard of him.
Yes.
Oh, dear, I'm not going to survive another year with John Clark and Brian Dorr. Listen, I've never had a guest who doesn't want to go home.
Jana, I know how relentless your job becomes as the years pass, but you've always maintained your great style and character. Neither British nor American television has produced a talent to match you. Enjoy your break.
Jana, just in case you've forgotten what you look like, here you are. And we'd like to, on behalf of all of us here in dear old England, we'd like to wish you a marvellous retirement and wish you all the best in the future. Good luck, mate.
So long.
Does it ever make you wonder what's on my mind?
Is it possible to see my father's file?
I never cried.
Perhaps the greatest gift that the new president and the new government have given Czechs is the right to say exactly what they believe.
He's a loner devoted to raising money for a group of people who need it most.
I think he's our friend.
She'll pull the odds in her favour, I think. Oh, you know, I just think she's got it, and just make me work harder.
If you'd like to help, this is very hard to say, contact the Children's Hospital in your state.
Jana Wendt, in a relatively short time, has indeed become a legend in current affairs in Australia.
There's not a cloud in sight.
I thank her for her contribution, and I wish her well in whatever she does in the future.
Mr. Packer, I appreciate your time tonight.
Thank you very much indeed, Jana.
The day you went away.
Jana, you're shipping out. We'll miss you.
Good luck with everything you do. Fingers crossed. Bye.
Oh dear, they've done it to me, haven't they? I've been sprung. They've colluded with John Clark and Brian Dorr and all the rest of my wonderful colleagues at A Current Affair. I was going to say that's it for A Current Affair 1992, but I certainly can't finish without thanking all of my great colleagues and friends at ACA for their work and their support over the last 5 years. All of my great friends here in the studio who've looked after me for all this time. Nor can I say goodbye without thanking you for your loyalty. You quite literally gave us life. So with that, enjoy your Christmas, and I'm sure you will join Mike Willesee and Mike Munro for A Current Affair in 1993. Good night.